Alright, hey guys, here is some more Acid Rain World stuff. This is the smaller scale Acid Rain figures, not the larger ones that I saw. I remember seeing at TFCon a few years ago. And they're quite fun. This is the Moose Laurel, the Bucks team Moose Laurel from the Agerts. I think it's Agerts military, which we've seen before with a lot of that. We've seen the Bucks team Trooper and the Stealth Chapel, and their stealth releases are all Agerts military. So we've got a full team here with all the mechs, and we'll show some of those off later. I did also post a picture on Twitter of the whole military together. But this is the Laurel. We finally got of all the mechs and vehicles, aside from the motorcycle, that they have shown off. This completes an Agerts military themed. We got the Stronghold, we got the little speeder, the chapel, and now this Laurel. So it's the same as a standard Laurel base body with some different bits, different paint jobs. You can see it's got Bucks team painted here on the chest, the little moose sigil here on both the helmet and the shoulder armor. He's got this chain gun feeder with a belt that goes to his very large weapon. He's got the hinge joints here at the wrist and swivels, so he can hold it. There's a little tab inside the hand that the gun pegs into. It's a little awkward the way the shape, the angle of the gun, but and the belt is not quite long enough in some cases to get some raised up poses. It works. It has the range to do it, but it kind of bends a little in an awkward way, and partly because it's two belt pieces pinned together. And if this were one solid piece, that might let this, swing a little bit more naturally versus having this hard plastic piece connecting the two. But all in all, it's a nice little mech. He's got all sorts of range of motion in the shoulders, hinges at the elbows, the legs have knees and ankle tilt and toe. You can see the hinge there on the toe, although it's being a little iffy. There we go. Toe articulation there on the mech feet. But it's a nice design, and like I said, I'm a big fan of, I think this, unless we get some more marine type decos, and I'm looking forward to some more marine type decos, I'm really digging the stealth designs on the Agerts stuff. He also has over here a little flip out blade to attack on this arm, and this can come off and pin onto any other Laurel. And same with all these weapons. You can remove the belt from the back here. It's on a hinge, so you can remove the weapon. You can remove this, the chain felt belt, and if you just want to put this as a gun on any larger mech, it's got a big peg here. So if you wanted to pin this on to, say, a Stronghold, you could attach it to the other weapons. That's one of the benefits of a lot of this Acid Rain World stuff, is that you can swap parts between a lot of these things. There's a couple different ways to attach the belt feeder onto various things with the gun. So this is actually, there doesn't seem to be any way to remove this from this barrel. Like, you can remove it from the gun itself, but this is all, you can actually slide the belt out of here, I think. I'm not going to risk it, but this is like I said, this is pinned together, and this is built in, so you can't, unless you unscrew it. I don't even know whether there's screw holes on there. Maybe right here. Actually, yeah, there's some right down in there. You could pull this apart if you wanted to remove it, but it's not designed to plug and play like the rest of the stuff. And then inside the mech itself, we have Bob. So we'll go ahead and pop him out of here. There's the inside of the canopy. He's a little harder to get in and out than on the Stronghold, because it's just, the Laurel's just a little tighter inside the cockpit. But here's Bob. Reminds me very much of like the old Exo Squad figures. I still have a few of those on my shelf, and I loved those when I was in high school, in college. But yeah, here's Bob. Let's see if we can't get him to stand here on this warped surface. There we go. And show him off a little bit. One of the things that's really, he comes with some accessories. He comes with a little dagger, a pistol, and a rifle, and he can hold any of these in his hands, just like that. There's a little peg hole in the back. Well, I guess you can really, it's more for a backpack than anything else. And he also comes with an alternate. Here is his unmasked head with his white hair and beard. It's a really nice humanoid face sculpt. But you can also pop this off and put on a helmeted version if you wish. All the armor can come off. You can pull this chest plate off. I don't recommend doing it for a reason I'll show you in just a second. But yeah, so you can pop on a little gas mask head if you want. What's really neat though is, and I'm not going to pull it out. I started to pull it out to see if it was a separate piece, and then I realized, nope, we're not going to do that. But it's tucked up. You can kind of see some of it through the side here. I don't know how well it's showing off, but his scarf is actually a fabric scarf. It's actually a thin little piece of orange fabric wrapped around that ball joint, and then the two ends of it are tucked into his armor to hold it in place. So that's really neat. Like, it's not just a little rubber piece or a molded piece. That actually is fabric, and that's the reason I haven't pulled it out, because it's like a strip of fabric, and I know if I pulled it out of there, I would never get it to sit back in this neck hole as well as it does now. So yeah, really nice. So you've got the ball joint at the head, and although that scarf does limit some of the poses from the other figures in the line, because it, like I said, it's just in there. But you got rotation at the shoulders, like a dual swivel there at the shoulder, bicep swivel, hinged elbows, wrist swivel. You got an ab crunch, waist swivel, ball joint hips, thigh swivel, knees, and then a ball joint at the feet. These little guys are really superposable, like I said, even a little more so than some of the old Exo Squad guys. And he looks good with the Laurel. So there's Bob. And the Laurel has the same kind of connection joints as all the larger mechs. I think that's big enough. This may be too big. Nope. So if you want to, you could take, say, the arm off the stronghold and snap it on there. Give him a big doom, like a Hellboy-esque doom fist, or double arms. You could take this off and attach bigger legs if you want to have. Here, let's take all the stronghold pieces off of here and slap them onto this Laurel here. Oh, come on, arm. And then the legs. So if you want to have that torso on a bigger body, so he swapped out his arms and legs into a beefier mech. And that's kind of the shtick with a lot of the things. Like, all the weapons can be interchanged between the mechs. All of the accessories are usable. Even the smaller guns for the characters have ways of plugging into all the various mechs. Just a really neat line with some really neat designs. And like I said, the marine color scheme I really want to see, the kind of green, olive green and tan and red. But the stealth Aggart's scheme is nice. And you'll notice that even the Bucks team has, well, they all still have a basic stealth scheme. The standard stealth has a lighter brown, whereas the Bucks team trooper both, like even with see this guy's helmet here, even has the lighter brown. These soldiers are the lighter brown of the standard Aggarts. And then even the Bucks team troopers have the darker brown color scheme, even more stealthy than the regular team to denote their special status. But yeah, a really nice set, another nice little mech from Acid Rain World. There is the Bucks team Moose Laurel.